Hi, my name is Anna Cannon, and for my learning contract project, I chose to analyze the budgeting process for EOA Children's Services of Washington County. I chose this organization because I've been employed there for several years, and I really wanted a more in-depth understanding of the budgeting process. EOA Children's Services provides child development services for children ages 6 weeks to 5 years old, and we also provide family services that range from helping families acquire affordable housing, mental health services, legal services, services for food insecurity. You name it, we provide services for it. In order to qualify for these services, families have to live at or below the federal poverty level. They have to either be court appointed or be a victim of a criminal act. The budgeting process is pretty in-depth process from what I found through research and just interviewing our program director and our executive director. EOA Children's Service is governed by the Office of Head Start, our administrative director, our program director, as well as our board, and we also have what we call a policy council. Policy council is unique to Head Start or EOA Children's Services. Our policy council consists of parents or guardians of children that are receiving services through our program. They are elected to our policy council by their peers, so they're elected by other parents and guardians within the program. They serve on our policy council for a maximum of 2 years, or, if their children are only in our program for a year, then they can only serve while their child is receiving services through our program. They are a big part of the budgeting process or the budgeting approval process. So the first step to the budgeting process is each service area has to come up with their portion of the budget. So we have an education service area, we have a mental health disability service area, we have a family and recruitment service area, we have a health and nutrition service area, and then of course we have our HR, our personnel service area. So once they come up with their components for the budget, they submit that budget to our program director. He then reviews their portions of the budget, and he looks for any errors or inconsistencies, and if those are found, he sends them back to the appropriate service area manager, and at that time they're able to fix those errors or make changes. Once he approves the budget, then the budget is presented to the policy council. At this time, the policy council members are able to, ask questions about different portions of the budget, ask for any type of justification for spending. Once the policy council votes to approve the budget is then presented to our executive director. The executive director approves the budget. Again, she looks for any errors or inconsistencies. This is a time for her to also ask for justification or clarification on any spending. After she approves the budget then is presented to our board of directors. They are very critical of our budget. They require a lot of justification for spending. They ask a lot of questions. This meeting's a pretty in-depth, usually a typically 2 to 3 hour meeting for them to review and approve the budget. Once they approve the budget is then submitted to the Office of Head Start for approval. The Office of Head Start typically takes anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks to approve the budget. There's a lot of back and forth through emails. They want justification for certain spending, and if they check for errors and things as well too. So once they approve the budget, then we are good to go. Our fiscal year runs from November 1st to October 31st. So of course we start our budgeting preparation typically in February. So the EOA Children's Services uses the traditional program budget format. Again, this format is broken up into categories by sub-programs, and those consist of personnel expenses, professional fees, occupancy, building maintenance and repairs, educational expenses, health and nutrition expenses, disability service expenses, family service and recruitment expenses. Through these budget categories, we are able to set 5-year goals for each sub-program, and we track the progress of these 5-year goals through a database, and reports that are created through the database we use to analyze the program. The reports are MBOs and MBIs, and they're ran on a quarterly basis. They are also reviewed by our executive director, our program director, the board, policy council, our management team, and as well as center directors review these quarterly reports. These reports allow an opportunity for us to address any concerns or deficits. They kind of keep us on track, make sure we're spending our funds appropriately and meeting our goals as well. These reports are made available to the public and our families, the families that we serve as well, yearly through an annual report. The annual report is made available online through our eoaheadstart.org website, and we also provide a hard copy of this annual report to all of our center locations to share with our parents. Overall, I think EOA has an effective and transparent budgeting process and analysis process. I feel this process creates a sense of trust with our grantees, our community members, our employees, different donors, and of course our families that we serve. I think all of this has allowed EOA Children's Services to maintain a reputation as an exceptional community resource, an outstanding organization to work for, as well as a remarkable child development program. I thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I look forward to any feedback or questions.